Welcome back to more Let's Play Pokémon Leafgreen. Last time, we finished up all the preparations and things we had to do on Sevi Island in order to venture into Cerulean Cave. This cave is a very tough dungeon, and let me tell you, you best come prepared. Now, between episodes, I went out of my way to make sure that we had plenty of items. Mostly stocked up on max repels, a couple, what else did I grab? A few more fresh waters, some revives, just in case, and of course, plenty of Pokeballs. Trust me, we are going to need them. Another thing I did is I also went to the Celadon department store, and I got a bunch of special defense increases for Zinx. She was really the only one who could use them, so I figured, why not? Because if you didn't know, the Pokemon that we're after, Mewtwo, is known for his sky-high special offense. So, make sure you're prepared. Notably, too, I've left behind Cabbage. As much as I love our first friend, he has a weakness to Mewtwo. That poison type is doing him no favors, and frankly, he's kind of only good for just dealing damage. So, in terms of catching Mewtwo, honestly, Arthur, Locke, and probably Zinx are going to be our best bets. So, fingers crossed. Let's enter Cerulean Cave. Oh boy. This cave is a giant maze, more or less. There's a very simple route you can take in order to get directly to Mewtwo, but I figure you probably want to explore here and find all of the various items. As you can see, quite literally, there's a maze in here. Notably, too, there are some very high-level Pokemon here. So, if you want to grind, this is not a bad area to do it in. Otherwise, I figured I would show off a couple battles just so you get an idea of what we're fighting in here and why we're probably going to be using a bunch of repels. Now look, it's not a bad idea trying to get a few levels before we fight Mewtwo. I mean, heck, even the Geodudes are high level. But at the same time, I kind of want to see what our party can do. Also, a full restore. There's going to be a ton of items throughout here, which is the big reason I want to have max repels. As you can see, the encounter rate isn't exactly low. So, while we could spend our time fighting every single random encounter, and sure, we could gain a few levels, I would much rather just, show you guys, hey, here's the kinds of Pokemon you can expect to see, and let's use repels and go around to grab all the items. Now, there is one other very special thing in this cave. Within this cave, you can encounter evolved Abras, Kadabras. These Kadabra, I believe, have a 5% chance of holding the bent spoon. This is another damage increasing held item, much like the Nevermelt Ice, the sunglasses, you name it, you get the idea. This increases psychic type moves. So, if you want the chance to increase your psychic type offense, you're gonna need to either catch one of the Kadabras that has the item, or use Thief. So, unfortunately for us, King has our Thief TM, so not only would he be incredibly underleveled, he would also be weak to them. So it's not exactly an easy task, especially considering Kadabra is fast. So I figured I'd let you know and let you get that bent spoon if you want. It's not something I care about, but I figure I may as well pick up all the other items here because, well, they're pretty easy to get. I mean, heck, a free PP up? Why not? It'll be useful if, I want to go into the trainer tower or whatever and go fight some trainers there. Also, I realized I just missed an item. Hello there, you. Ooh, a max elixir. Now that's useful. Yeah, this entire place is a huge mess of encounters. And as you can see, there are Pokemon that are a higher level than the Pokemon in our party. That is rather troublesome. Admittedly, I should be running around with Zinx in front, but honestly, it shouldn't be too big of an issue. Still, for trouble Pokemon like this, well, we usually have an answer. In this case, we can just have Arthur use good ol' Earthquake, and that should do the job. I mean, look, as strong as Electrode is, it's not exactly a defensive wall. So there we go. I figure a few PP here and there is better than fighting several random encounters and just hoping we have enough to get through. So we'll break another rock and reapply our repel as quickly as we can. There we go. Now, to be fair, while this area seems big and, I guess, ominous, it's not all that bad. Like I said, with repels, you'll get through here just fine. Still, if you're trying to fight your way through here manually, you're in for a rough time. Otherwise, I want to say that's the way to go. I think if we go down this way, there might be an item or two? I might be wrong. It's been a long time since I've been in here. Otherwise, hello again, Electrode. And yeah, you're reading that right. Level 61. These Pokemon are incredibly strong. Oh, good. That's just what I wanted to see. Thanks for the explosion. Well, thanks for the free experience, I guess. I'll take it. I'll have to use some fresh waters, but hey, that's fine. That's why we bought them. There we go. So yeah, as you can see, this cave is filled with annoyances and things that are meant to just wear you down. That's kind of why it's so darn brutal. Otherwise, once you actually get to Mewtwo, let me warn you, he is a whopping level 70. Ah! And here is another Pokemon I made explicit mention of regarding the roaming legendaries. This is Wobbuffet. Admittedly, I would love to catch one. However, as you can see, Wobbuffet's Shadow Tag prevents switching. It also prevents running away. So, by catching a Wobbuffet, you can make fighting your legendary dog much easier. So, admittedly, I wouldn't be against trying to catch one, just for my own sake. Still, I also really don't care too much, just because, oh my goodness. Yeah, there's Wobbuffet's gimmick. Their whole thing is that they cannot attack directly. They counter you. They have both physical counters and special counters, so keep it in mind. Now, while I said I did want to catch one, I really don't actually feel the need, but I wanted to let you know that you can encounter them in this cave, and that this is where you can find them. It also helps that they are a very high level. So, if you try to encounter the legendary dogs with, what's the word? With a, Pokemon with Shadow Tag, there we go, you can just use Wobbuffet. However, there is one glaring issue. Because they're such a high level, the repel trick isn't going to work. So, you might be better off, as painful as this sounds, catching a Wobbuffet, hatching an egg, and then raising it up to level 49. That obviously is going to take a long time. So admittedly, what you want to do is up to you. If you've been like us and you've been using a Jinx, or if you haven't traded for Jinx yet, you also could trade for her and then go use the move tutor to make her learn Mean Look. It's a choice. I guess it'd be easier to raise a Poliwhirl up to level 49, just because you can get them much easier, and then trade it, because Jinx will be the level that you trade for. Also, I do not need to go down here. What am I doing? So, the choice is yours. Either way, it's kind of not a great option. Still, at the very least, Jinx is rather fast, so she's probably the better bet. Though, Wobbuffet Shadow Tag does just automatically work. So, choice is yours. Otherwise, it's not up here. Oh boy. Time for another rappel. And there we go. Get that nice and going. And then I think it's down this way. Maybe I'm wrong. I think I can see that I'm wrong. Again, it has been such a long time since I've been inside this cave. Maybe this was the direction we actually needed to go. Like I said, it's been a while. Oh, and good. It's just a silly old electrode. I can just run away from you. Or we can't escape. And he sets up a light screen? Can I just leave? Oh, I guess not. Well, I guess we'll switch to Arthur and deal out some punishment, huh? This was the other big thing I kinda worried about with this cave, is that because of Wobbuffet and the very high level Pokemon, this is no walk in the park. You're going to be fighting through this cave, especially if you did not go out of your way to grind at all during the game. I wouldn't even recommend entering this cave if any of your Pokemon are under level 55. At that point, you are asking for trouble. And hey, speaking of levels, Locke grew to level 58. Gains 4 HP, 2 attack, 2 defense, 2 special attack, 3 special defense, and 2 speed. That is exactly what he needs. Alright. Otherwise, admittedly, I've kind of lost my way. Maybe I was going the right way and I just didn't realize it. That's very possible. And yes, hello again, Electrode. Can I please run? Thank you. Yeah, like I've been saying, the cave is meant to wear you down. There's some good stuff, just don't get too comfortable. Yeah, actually, I think this is the right way. Nope. Huh. Well, here's the other difficulty. Like I said, this place is a maze. So, don't be amazed if you get lost. You can laugh. All right, look, I get it. It wasn't that funny. Also, is this the right ladder? I thought it was, but maybe it's not. Let's try going down this path? No, because that just leads down. Is it up this way then? Maybe it is, and I've just been a fool the entire time. It would not surprise me. I think I've just been a fool the entire time. Still, I mean, hey, it's a maze for a reason. And yep, there we go. That's why I thought the other path may have been the right directions, because they're both very close to where you actually need to go. There, much better. Otherwise, I think you just gotta do kind of a huge roundabout circle in this room, and you'll find your way to Mewtwo, no problem. And, hello, Golbat. Ooh, Air Cutter. That's a cool move. Otherwise, will an Aurora Beam take you out? It's not the strongest Ice-type move. Oh, it is nowhere close. Huh. Yeah, I gotta admit. Oh, hello, Mean Look. Well, I guess if you wanted, there's another Pokemon that knows the move Mean Look. Golbat. So, you have multiple options in this cave. Wobbuffet, Golbat, even Jinx if you didn't go get her. So, take your pick and go fight your legendary dog. You know, I should have used Quick Attack. Hey, we didn't get poisoned. All right, all's well that ends well. Still though, as you can see, with these Pokemon being such a high level, it should be no doubt in your mind that Mewtwo is going to be the highest level of any Pokemon you can encounter. I'm not kidding. He's level 70. So, you best be prepared. Ooh, and a Max Revive. That's actually very worth grabbing. Because, we're probably going to use it. Oh, and hello, Kadabra. I wonder if you have that spoon on you. Oh, and of course we can't escape. Yes, use Psychic. I get it. Admittedly, not a bad test run. Kadabra has pretty comparable special to Mewtwo. So, what is this? Roleplay. Oh, he copied Water Absorb. Huh. Can't say I expected that. Can I please run? Thank you. But, Mewtwo is, well, I mean, look, he's a very powerful Psychic-type Pokemon. So, you can expect some of the strongest Psychics in the game. If you can tank an Alakazam's Psychic, or in this case, a Kadabra's Psychic, without going, I think it's below... Oh, goodness, I'm trying to remember the amount. About half or a little over half HP, you should be okay. Point is, Mewtwo hurts. Also, speaking of, here's Ditto. So, if you haven't caught Ditto, I guess here's another chance. Kind of weird that it's here of all places, but so what? And another Ultra Ball. I do like how they kind of just litter items throughout here, so that it's like, hey, do you have balls? Do you have healing items? Like, you're gonna need them. Also, hello again, Kadabra. Goodbye, Kadabra. Nice seeing you, as always. And I want to say, just down here, is the prize we seek. Now, look. A lot of people, generally speaking, save their Master Ball for Mewtwo. Though, I've warned you. You probably want to just use your Master Ball on your roaming legendary, and I wouldn't blame you. So, here he is. Now, in terms of battle strategy, we're going to start with Arthur and hope that he can tank a Psychic. If he cannot, this is going to be an extremely rough fight, because we need to get Thunder Wave onto Mewtwo. Without Paralysis, we have virtually no chance of catching him. So, let's play. Mew! Uh-oh. Say hello to Mewtwo. Oh, boy. Well, fingers crossed. Let's try Thunder Wave. Oh, and he started with Safeguard. Oh. There's the other issue. Mewtwo has Safeguard, so there's a very good chance that Mewtwo's gonna make it so you can't even inflict a status ailment. How annoying. Now, I want to say Safeguard doesn't protect him once it's down, and man, he keeps spamming Safeguard. That does not bode well for the rest of our fight. Alright, honestly, I'll just keep hitting Earthquakes. If we can get you nice and low right now, that would be good. He hasn't busted out the Psychic yet, so that's ideal. I guess at this point, I'm just gonna stall until Safeguard runs out. It's not an ideal tactic. Uh-oh. This is gonna hurt. Yep, that's a lot of damage. Alright, he's no longer protected. Let's try Thunder Wave. Oh, and he went for a Swift. Beautiful. There we go. Okay, good, good, good. Whew. This is also where I really wish that I had False Swipe, but I sure don't. So I guess at this point, let's switch over to Lock, just because he's kind of our best bet. And I don't know if I want to try to hit him again or not. I feel like Mewtwo has such high special that an Aurora Beam may not beat him. I guess let's try it. After all, we saved our game for a reason. But let's see. No, it beat him. Ugh, alright. Well, if you were curious, Mewtwo gives a combined 2,200 EXP. So, now you know. Anyways, I'll meet you back in the Mewtwo fight. Be right back. Alright, Mewtwo. Time for round 2. Let's do it. Oh boy. Well, we know that Aurora Beam does more than we thought, so that's good. Otherwise, can we get Thunder Wave off turn 1? Hey, it looks like we can. That's good. That is assuming Arthur tanks the Psychic. He does. Beautiful. And yeah, I'm really not kidding when I say that that Psychic hurts. Honestly, Arthur was pretty darn good for getting him low. So maybe we'll try... Oh yeah, by the way, there's the other thing. Mewtwo has Recover. So even if you get him to low HP, he can just use recover and heal. This is such a nightmare of a Pokemon to fight. That's why, honestly, paralysis is kinda your best friend. Without it, I wouldn't even recommend trying to fight Mewtwo. You can use sleep, but I've never been a fan of it. Seriously, while it is nice that it keeps them completely immobile for a couple turns, the fact is, it wears off. Having to take precious time to reapply sleep, especially when Mewtwo can just safeguard, it makes it pretty worthless. Otherwise, I'm going to try a Thunderbolt and see how much that does. I think he can safely take another one of those. Again, I'm trying to play it safe. Ideally, too, when Mewtwo uses Recover, you can use that as a chance to try to get him down lower. Just be careful. Otherwise, he's paralyzed and in the red. Let's start chucking balls. 1, 2, 3. I was going to cry if we caught him on our first Pokeball. That would have been amazing. Oh, it's funny because now we're not going to see that ball shake even once for probably like 3 hours. Don't you worry. I'll probably start cutting it out after that long. But please understand that I'm probably going to be here for a while. Still, I'll show you a fair bit of the Mewtwo fight. And maybe some re-attempts. Because I guarantee he's going to struggle himself to death at least once. 2, 3. Oh. I'll be honest. He's actually wiggling in the Pokeball a lot more than I thought he would have. Huh. Also, here's our chance to do some damage. So I guess let's try a Dragon Claw, see how much that does. Not bad. I almost want to say he can take another. And again, if I'm wrong, well, we saved for a reason. Good, good. Oh, and he recovered for us. What a chap. Now, unfortunately, Arthur is in death range. So let's use a max potion. Play it safe. Paralyzed. Beautiful. I love a free turn. And then let's hit Earthquake and then Thunderbolt. This is probably the most involved any legendary is going to be, so it's kind of ridiculous. Here's a Thunderbolt. Hopefully this won't kill you. I'm really just worried about crits, to be honest. Okay, beautiful, beautiful. Honestly, I could probably hit you with another even and be fine. So let's chance fate. Come on. Oh, it did beat you. Gosh darn it. All right, and I'll see you in fight 3. Attempt number 3. So, I mean, to be fair, Arthur has been surviving pretty darn well. So, maybe for future attempts, I'll just move the leftovers onto him and see if he can just tank the whole fight. Because honestly, he's been doing good. Also, man, we already have to heal. Rough, but at least we got the turn 1 Thunder Wave. That's good. Swift, that's what we like to see. I mean, still, it's not ideal that he's damaging us, but I'd rather him get his damaging moves out first than having to wait for so long. All right, I think he's in death range, so I'm just going to give him a fresh water and call it good. Safeguard, all right, that's fine. Feel free. Let's use another Earthquake. That'll get some very good damage onto you. Ooh, a crit. Okay, that is not what I expected. Oh gosh. Okay. Ooh. I hate having to risk losing out on that nice chance to catch you, but we gotta heal. All right, you didn't heal. Beautiful. This is probably the best chance we've had. So let's cross our fingers and hope. All right. So far, so good. Nothing. Still, he's not healing, so we appreciate that. Have another Pokeball. 1. Oh. Granted, I mean, come on, what do you expect? It's a Pokeball. If I were you, please be a sane person and buy Ultra Balls for this. I mean, seriously, you really shouldn't be using Pokeballs. But hey, it would be kind of cool to see Mewtwo pop out of a Pokeball. Ooh, nice paralysis too. I love it. Ball number, what is this, 4? I think it's ball number 4. 1. Oh, at least it's wiggling. I would always rather see the ball move at least a little than just nothing. When it just immediately breaks out, that always feels so much worse. 2, 3. Oh. Well. Huh. You know, I'm not gonna lie to you. I figured I was going to be here for several hours. Huh. Well, we caught Mewtwo! Number 150, the genetic Pokemon. It was created by a scientist after years of horrific gene splicing and DNA engineering experiments. So yeah, this is probably one of the most iconic Pokemon of the series. Sure, Pikachu is obviously the mascot. Yeah, we all know that. Charizard is one of the most popular Pokemon in existence next to Pikachu. But frankly, for anyone growing up, you probably know Mewtwo from the movie. He was an awesome villain. And frankly, this is just a pretty darn good Pokemon. So, look, if you don't know Mewtwo, Charizard, or Pikachu, I'd kind of question if you know Pokemon. But granted, there are so many games and so many Pokemon that at the same time, I can't say I blame you. Still, I'm kind of at a loss for words. I really thought this was going to be way harder. And normally, it is. Most people laud this fight as being one of the most difficult fights in the entire game. So the fact that we kind of dealt with it so easy? I mean, look, I guess we're just lucky. Give a nickname to Mewtwo? I don't think it'd be appropriate. Oh yeah. Now, let's check our Pokedex, shall we? Here, we should now have every single Pokemon you can obtain in the Kanto Dex in one given playthrough. Of course, you have your pick of the starter. You'll either have Bulbasaur, Ivysaur, Venusaur, Charmander, Charmeleon, Charizard, or Squirtle, Wartortle, Blastoise. Obviously. You can only get one starter, and that's that. There's no other way to obtain any of these Pokemon. So, we've done all we can there. Obviously, you have all of the bugs, Pidgeotto, the Rattata family, Spearow and Fearow, Ekans and Arbok are exclusives. We have Pikachu and Raichu, Sandshrew, Sandslash, which are our exclusives instead of Arbok. The Nidoran family, Clefable, Vulpix and Ninetales, which is our fire exclusive. Jiggly family, Zubat, Golbat, Oddish Gloom and Vileplume are ones we could not catch because those are Fire Red exclusives. We have a bunch of the bugs, Diglett, Meowth and Persian. Psyduck and Golduck we cannot obtain because it's version exclusive. We have Mankey and Primeape. Growlithe and Arcanine are exclusives. The Poly family, the Kadabra family. We cannot obtain Alakazam because it requires a trade and I have no way to do that. Same with Machamp. Bellsprout, Weepinbell, and Victreebel are our version exclusives. Tentacool, Tentacruel, the Geo family, barring Golem, because again, trade evolution. The Pony family, Slowbro and Slowbro, who are our version exclusives. The Magnet family, Farfetch'd, Doduo, Seal, Dugong, Grimer, Muck. We can't get Shelter or Cloyster because those are the Fire Red exclusives. We can't get Gengar because, again, trade exclusive. Otherwise, I mean, you kind of get the picture. We did manage to get both the Hitmons because you can breed, so that's good. Otherwise, scrolling through, there are a couple Pokemon you never see. One of them is Scyther, which is the opposite Pokemon of Pinsir. This is a Fire Red exclusive that we never saw. The other one, and I don't know if it's 123 or 125, I think it's 125, is Electabuzz. Electabuzz is an electric type, kind of akin to Magmar. If you're playing Fire Red, you can find Electabuzz in the power plant. So, unfortunately, we can't find him because it's a Fire Red exclusive. Scyther is the same as Pinsir. You can buy him or find him in the Safari Zone. And Electabuzz is in the power plant, whereas Magmar is on the mountain. Otherwise, we got all of the evolutions, again, thanks to breeding. We bought Porygon. We have our fossil. Otherwise, you could have gotten Kabuto and Kabutops, and we've seen Kabutops' skeleton, but no one has them because they're fossil Pokemon. Otherwise, Aerodactyl, Snorlax, Articuno, Zapdos, Moltres, Dratini, Dragonair, Dragonite, and of course, Mewtwo. As crazy as it is to say, this is as many of the Kanto Pokemon as you can obtain in one playthrough with one copy of the game. In Pokemon Leafgreen, that's 125. So, it's not bad. Out of the total 150 Pokemon in the Kanto Dex, 151 if you count Mew, you're only missing 25. So, that's not bad. Admittedly, I think we've done a really good job. So, at this point, guess it's time to book it. You know, I feel a little silly having prepared that much, but like I said, the Mewtwo fight is normally one of the hardest in the entire game. So, the fact that it wasn't that bad kind of surprised me. Still, I'm not complaining. It was, well, could have been a lot worse. I guess knocking out what is almost tantamount to a god several times convinces them pretty well that they should stay in the ball. I mean, hey, it didn't really work all that well with Zapdos or Moltres, but hey, I'll take it. So at this point, I guess the only other thing we should see if we can do is encounter our roaming legendary. At this point, we shouldn't need our Gyarados anymore. So we'll just put you in the box. There we go. Also, I guess for giggles, let's take a look at our Mewtwo. Impish nature, huh? And yeah, look at those stats. 165 attack, 144 defense, 207 special attack, 138 special defense, and 194 speed. That's a lot. Also, pressure. This raises the foe's PP usage. So every time we used a move, we were using more than one PP. And of course, comes with Swift, Recover, Safeguard, and Psychic. It's not a bad set. You could do better, obviously, but hey, Mewtwo is seriously no slouch. So at this point, my big question is, do I have anything that's level 49 or around there? My guess is probably no, but it wouldn't hurt to look, because again, if we're gonna try to go find Entei, then this would be the time to do it. Unfortunately, a lot of our Pokemon kinda aren't that level. So, well, King, you're level 43, bud. Welcome back into the party. You're gonna help us find another legendary. So, let's move you to the front and go put all of those repels to use. Now, like I mentioned a bit before, the best way to find your roaming legendary is step 1. Pick any patch of grass on a route like this. Step 2. Have a pretty high level Pokemon, ideally level 49, but it shouldn't really matter so long as you're a higher level than any of the random Pokemon you can find here. Step 3. Use a repel. If you still got one, well, let's keep it going. Basically, just run around in the grass. And if repel's effect wears off, ignore whatever you encounter and reapply the repel. after probably, I don't know, let's say a minute or so of running around in the grass, maybe a little less than that, change locations. So we're evidently not really finding anything. So, let's go down. And then I can't remember if it's changing routes, cities, or what. But basically, the whole idea is just pick any spot and run through the grass with a rappel up. I'm serious. That's kind of the best way to do this. I guess one of the best ways, or one of the best methods, is just sitting in Saffron and then taking each of the exits and running in the various grass. I mean, really, you can kind of just pick wherever for this. I think anywhere where you have one of these entrances, you can walk in, go in the grass, and then just find Pokemon. It's probably a pretty decent location for it. Now, notably, if you encounter your legendary dog, they don't use Roar, but they manage to get away, you can find them using your Pokedex. This is mostly useful for finding Suicune, though if you have Raikou or Entei and they naturally flee without using Roar, you can find them that way too. Unfortunately for us, we're probably just gonna find them and chuck the Master Ball and call it good. So, you know, at this point, I guess I'll, meet you guys when/if I find them? Admittedly, I really didn't plan on doing this today. So, and man, evidently there is, no grass here whatsoever. So, yeah, don't go over to Lavender Town. That's not gonna help you. Honestly, I really think I should just stick to my own advice. Just stay in Saffron, go out the west and south exits, or the left and down exits, and just keep going in the grass there and seeing if you find your legendary. Like I said, every time you do a transition, they should move or it's something like that. So, worst case, just keep bouncing between them, and eventually you'll find them. There's kind of not a great way to do this. So, like I said, I'll meet you when I find them, I guess. Be right back. Oh boy. Hey there, Entei. This has been a long time coming. So, if you have been diligent, and you managed to find your roaming legendary dog, and you've saved your Master Ball, if I were you, save yourself the headache and use it. We used the Master Ball. 1, 2, 3. There you go. Your roaming legendary was caught. No fuss, no hassle. It's that easy. This will be the only Pokedex entry I read out for a non-Kanto Pokemon. Number 244, the volcano Pokemon Entei. Volcanoes erupt when it barks. Unable to restrain its extreme power, it races headlong around the land. And how? Admittedly, it took me maybe 3 minutes to find him. This wasn't bad at all. So, not only have we caught every single Pokemon we can obtain in the Kanto Dex, we've now caught every single legendary we can catch in this version. Now don't get me wrong, there were other legendaries that you were supposed to be able to catch. Ho-Oh, Lugia, I believe even Deoxys, Jirachi, and I think Mew. But unfortunately, all the ways to catch those not trainers, my goodness. I got mind boggled because that guy is walking up and down the screen. I'm going to try to move off screen so we can't see him. There we go, much better. But back to my point. All of the items you require in order to find those Pokemon and catch them are no longer available. They're in the game's code, yes, but there is no way to activate them without receiving a mystery gift. I want to say there may be a way to emulate that and trick a Game Boy in order to believe that it has them or something like that. Though the only real way to do it nowadays is via emulation. You'd have to run the game on an emulator, check the proper boxes, give yourself the items, you get the idea. You can't obtain them legitimately without tampering with the game in some way, shape, or form. It's really unfortunate. I know for some of the later games, a lot of the mystery gifts that were given out like that through events and distribution can still be accessed by essentially spoofing the event via some application. Namely, the DS games are known for this. Like, there was a wonderful video put out there about all of the Black 2 and White 2 events. So, if you haven't seen it, go look it up. It's pretty darn cool. There's a pretty extensive history on all this stuff. But point is, without some external method, if you just have say, your Game Boy Advance or a DS and just the game cartridge, game card, what have you, you can't obtain anything else. Still, all things considered, this has been a very long journey. And although it may not feel quite right to end it, there's nothing else I really want to do. We've done just about everything. We set out from Pallet Town such a long time ago. We trained to our heart's content. We became the champion of the Elite Four. We've caught every single Pokemon we can catch in one run through Leafgreen, at least for the Kanto Dex, and we've caught every single legendary we can catch as well. I'd say that's pretty darn impressive. So, as always, I've been Bread. Thank you so much for watching. I'll see you on whatever comes next. As always, have a good one.